The art of being bored. Get bored. Be bored. The best ideas come from you doing absolutely nothing. Like literally nothing. I'm talking about laying in bed all day, thinking about how bored you are. You know, the funny thing is, I was thinking about before I started all this being bored is when was the last time I was really bored in life? And it probably was when I was a kid, where I just was outside all day, playing with a stick and rock, not having anyone to hang out with, thinking about how bored I am in life, and just constantly thinking of new ideas of how to entertain myself, or how to be do something fun, maybe, you know. And as you get older, we start to really slowly progress away from that and start to think about being more creative, finding your purpose, or finding new ways of how to make money, or finding just a way of how to do something fun in life, you know. And when you start to get that state of mind, that only really comes from when you do nothing, when you're actually bored. It doesn't come from when you distract yourself while being on your phone, while scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, while watching your favorite shows or watching a movie. It doesn't come from those ideas. Maybe you might get inspiration, ideas, but for the most part, you might just forget about it because you got too distracted on entertaining yourself. That's why when you're being bored, doing absolutely nothing, that's the time to come up with some ideas. And now listen, you don't gotta do this the whole day. I don't actually recommend doing that. Please don't do that. I only recommend doing this maybe like 2 or 3 hours once a week. Because if you do it all day, then you might be considered more procrastinating, more maybe being a bum. You know, if you're not being bored and literally doing nothing while not coming up with any ideas, yeah, I don't recommend that. Don't portray that. Don't portray this video as that idea. Just literally be bored, get bored, come up with ideas to help you maybe in the future by finding your purpose, by finding new hobbies, by finding a new way of how to make money. You know what's funny is the other day when I was really bored in life, I was writing my journal while being bored. Was that I was always insecure on not being very well spoken. I always wish I was well spoken. I hated when I was a kid being called on to give out an answer because I was always afraid of how I will portray my answer or how the answer will come out, or maybe it's just wrong, you know? And I knew that one of the best ways to become very well spoken is, one, you can talk to a friend or family, but you know, I don't really have friends, so, or two, make some videos about it, you know? Make videos about how, I don't know, like give out some life advice, so like what I'm doing. And if you want to be well spoken, you don't need to post it on YouTube. I mean, I just recommend doing it because why not? It's not going to hurt anyone. If you're too afraid of like getting criticized or looking at the comments, turn off the comments, you know, or just don't look at it. I mean, but sometimes when you get criticized, it also will help you later on. But anyway, that was one of my ideas. I was like, oh wow, this is something I always wanted to do. And I would have never came up with that idea if I wasn't just bored the other day. Or it was like a few months ago. But anyway, when you do come up with ideas, it's a great way to just brainstorm ideas. And one of the best ways to track all your ideas and getting a piece of paper out, get a pen out, or even using your phone. Actually, don't use your phone because you distract yourself. Just get a piece of paper out and get a pen out and write down all your ideas when you're generally bored. A few things that I like to do when I'm really bored is literally just sit there, stare at the wall. Alright, that might make me sound a little crazy now. But, you know, just sit there and just think of ideas, you know? Just get a sticky note and just think of ideas. And we're going to pretend that I didn't say that. But my point is just like, just get really bored because you'll come up with some really good ideas. Another thing that you could really just think about when you're being bored is figure out what you're going through. Figure out a problem that you're facing right now. Are you looking for a job? Okay. If you're looking for a job, cool. When you're being bored, figure out of how to maybe update your resume. Figure out how to get a cover letter. Figure out maybe someone can review my resume, or figure out what jobs that could be open, or it might be too closed-minded. You know, these are the ideas that you want to be constantly thinking about when you're bored. You know, same thing with pursuing your dream, right? If you want to become a content creator, right? Then think about, okay, how can I make my videos better? How can I monetize this a little bit different? How can I get our brand deals? You know, this is what I mean while being bored, is when you're having the thought process of doing absolutely nothing. And that's why I recommend doing it for like a few hours, like 2 or 3 hours a week. I mean, you can maybe do it every other week. I never really tried that. But when you get too bored, you get too comfortable of being lazy. And when you become lazy, then you do absolutely nothing. But they do say one of the most scariest people are the people that are lazy and ambitious. Because when they're lazy and ambitious, they'll find ways of how to new ideas. So yeah, it can work in your advantage. Just don't distract yourself because it will defeat the whole purpose. But yes, that's it for today's video. I will see you guys tomorrow.